Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. This is the 28 Days to a Healthy You program. I'm going to share my screen with you so that you can follow along with the deck. Please go ahead and get paper and pencil ready. Masterclass number 1, 28 Days to a Healthy You. So the overview of today's session is we're going to go over what's going well. We're going to set some ground rules about coaching and the program that you're going through. We'll discuss your 28 Days to a Healthy You program, which you'll find inside your app. This particular program has everything you need inside the app, so you can just carry it around with you. Desired state goal setting. We'll work on your anchors, clearing the clutter. We'll talk about water, meal tips, a 20-minute meal, and then we're going to put together some action steps and go over your ahas and appreciations for the day. So what's going well? Each week we're going to start with asking you the question, what's going well? What is something that you're proud of trying or doing in the last 7 days, no matter how tiny the effort? All our sessions will start this way, by asking what's going well, as acts as a motivator to propel us forward. We'll answer in the positive only, using no limiting factors or negative self-talk. The next part, what we want to know is, does it feel good to acknowledge what's going well? Do you feel a surge of energy just talking about what's going well, no matter how small it is? The extra energy that we feel guides us to make better decisions for ourselves and our body. When we focus on what's not going well, we start to feel crappy and make poor decisions. Does that make sense? Okay, so what I would like for you to do is stop the masterclass, get out your paper and pencil, and you're going to answer the question of what's going well. What is something you are proud of doing in the last 7 days, no matter how tiny the effort? You want to let that be something that is a motivator to propel you forward. It needs to be answered in the positive with no limiting factors or self-talk. Don't forget to think about, how did that make you feel? And write that down as well. I'll see you in a minute. So you're back. Let's just go over the ground rules real quick. What is coaching? Coaching is designed to let you become the person that you want to be. It's to help you to close the gap from where you are today to where you want to go. And this is designed to help you to learn to hold yourself accountable and to push you outside your comfort zone. So I'll be asking you to do some things that you might not be comfortable with, but that's all right. Go ahead and do them. You might find that you actually enjoy them and learn something new. We're also going to focus on what's going right, not what's not going right, okay? So the rules of the game are, I want you to listen to your daily hypnosis. I would like for you to find a motivational speaker that you like and listen to them each day for 20, 30 minutes, whatever works for you. And I'd like for you to bring a pencil and paper each day. So your nutrition program that you have chosen is the Healthy You program. You're going to be prompted to follow a gluten and dairy-free plan. You can add that in if that's fine with you, but the plan is designed without it. It includes whole and fresh fruits and vegetables, clean proteins, such as wild-caught fish, organic poultry, and grass-fed meat. So we're going to aim for 3 meals a day, 1 to 2 snacks per the plan, along with plenty of fluids. You're going to start your day with hot water and lemon and ginger. This helps to promote a healthy digestion and immune system. We would like for you to try and avoid or reduce your caffeine, throughout the program, as well as your alcohol consumptions. There's many different foods in the program. You can swap them, move them in and out. It's not a set program, meaning it has all kinds of different menus for breakfast. You choose what you'd like for breakfast. It's not that you have to eat X on day 1 and something else on day 2. So you're going to choose what works best for you, okay? So it's also important that you start adding movement into your lifestyle. Make sure that you're getting plenty of movement each day. And at a minimum, aim for 30 minutes a day with some cardio and some weightlifting. If you're already doing more than this, then absolutely stick with the routine that you have. Movement also helps you to build energy. So as you're eating cleaner, you're going to build energy. As you're moving more, you're going to build energy, and it will help you aid in your digestion. And you're just going to feel better across the board. In the program, we would like for you to add in your hypnosis or meditation, whichever ones that you work on. There's a place for you to list that in the app each day to ensure that you're keeping up with these each day. Sleep is also in your app. We would like for you to try and get 7 to 9 hours of sleep a day. And keep in mind that spending the last 20 minutes before you go to sleep without any extra TV, extra things, is the best time for you to relax and start winding down. You can do your journaling, you can listen to hypnosis or meditate, maybe a little bit of yoga, something that makes you start relaxing for the evening and can go ahead and go to bed and get a nice, good sleep. Okay, so we're going to start our program today with goal setting. And what is a goal, right? It needs to be specific, measurable, and achievable. The goal that you're going to work on today is going to be time bound. I want you to work towards a goal or choose a goal today that you can complete in 90 days. And a goal is the what. What am I doing? So a specific, well-formed goal is sensory based. So you know how it will feel or look. Simply, if I'm choosing that I'm going to lose 5 pounds, I know how that will feel or look when I'm done with it, okay? I'm going to state it in the positive. I want my goal to be achievable within a given time frame, meaning I don't want to have my 90-day goal to be that I'm going to lose 50 pounds because I'm probably not going to be able to achieve that. I need to be able to have my goal, something that's initiated and controlled by me, not that I have to rely on someone else in my life or around me to do something in order for me to achieve my goal. And lastly, my goal needs to be measurable so that I know when it's completed. If I'm going to lose 5 pounds, 10 pounds, then I will know when I've completed that. That means it's an appropriate size chunk, as we've spoken to. Don't let your goal be vague. It's not just, I want to feel better or I want to feel better, fitter. It's, I want to feel better or fitter. How? So get a little bit more specific when you're making your goal or your what. Your motivating factor or your why. So your goal is your what. Now we're going to talk about your why. Your goal is, so what you want is to feel fitter and lose 5 to 10 pounds, right? There's my goal or my what. So what's my why? Well, you get why questions. Ask yourself, what will having that do for you? If I lose 10 pounds, what will having that do for me? Well, if I lose 10 pounds, my clothes will fit better. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that question a couple times in order to really dive into what my why is. Well, if my clothes feel better, what will having that do for me? Well, I think I will feel nicer. I will start feeling happier inside. Well, why do I want to feel happier inside? Well, I want to feel happier inside because I haven't been able to do all the things that I've been wanting to do with my family. Okay, so what will doing those things with my family do for me? Well, I think that by getting to do all those things with my family, I will build a stronger bond with my grandchildren. I will start to live my life more fully. So do you see how asking that question repeatedly gets me closer to where I want to be? And then your next why question is, well, what's important about that? What is important in spending time with my grandchildren? Well, quality time with my grandchildren. It's very important because that's what my life is about. I want to be able to enjoy time with my friends and my family, and I want to have quality time that I can get out there and be involved with them because I'm healthy and fit. Okay? Last question on this one is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is your why? If you can't answer that with at least an 8, and you really want it to be a 10. But if you can't answer it with at least an 8, then your why is not going to be strong enough, because in order for us to achieve our goals, we have to get leverage on ourselves. And to get leverage, that's our why. Why do I want something? That's my leverage. I want it so that I can live a longer, stronger, healthier life and extend my life into my retirement. And extend my life into my retirement. So stop the masterclass and answer the questions above. Okay, so the last part is we're going to create your action steps. So what I would like for you to do is use this tool over here that I have on the right side of the page. Is you're going to take and you're going to make a list. You're going to put 3 columns. The first column is going to say, what do I want? Why do I want it? And what are my action steps? Okay, so what do I want? The what is the goal, which we just talked about. The why is what's my leverage? What is my actual why? So now I'm down to making a small action step for each day. So in order to do that, you're going to, when you make action steps, you're going to list 4 or 5 simple actions that you want to take in order to get you to your what or your goal. So my goal, what do I want? My why do I want it? What's my purpose? What will it do for me? How will it make me feel? Who else will benefit from it? What will having that do for me? How will I know when I'm getting it? The last is your action steps. 4 or 5 action steps. So I want you to stop the masterclass and go ahead and complete this chart. Why do I want? What is my goal? Why do I want it? What's all my leverage points? Okay. And then list 4 or 5 very small action steps that I can start taking now in order to achieve that. Okay. So let's set some anchors towards your healthy eating goals. What is an anchor? Well, I bet you actually know this one by now because we worked on anchors in our quit smoking program quite heavily. An anchor is something physical in your environment that will remind you, why are you doing all this? Why are you making the effort? Especially when you don't want to, or you're feeling overwhelmed. Okay? So we're going to use anchors. And again, your anchors will become a habit which allow you to say yes to you. And it helps to remind you of your goal. So 3 anchors. Anchors act as a pattern interrupter. They stop you like a record scratch, just like, it has to be that strong for the anchor to work. They prevent you from making poor choices that aren't in alignment with your outcome or your goal. They give you an influx of energy like, I've got this. I can do this for myself. They provide you a creative spark, like when we talk about what's going well, that gives us a sense of pride. It makes us feel good. And anchors help us to prevent us from making incongruent choices for ourselves. Examples of anchors are a screensaver, which you could choose, could be your family, could be a dream house, a vacation, someplace that you'd love to be or visit someday. Anything you want. It could be a collage. Doesn't have to be a screensaver. It could just be a picture that you hang on your refrigerator or that you tape to your phone. Whatever, someplace that you're going to be able to see it a good 10 times a day. Your wedding ring can act as an anchor if you happen to have one, simply because that was a beautiful day in your life. So a lot of people will use that, or the birth of a child, just the thought processes and the joy that they felt during that. You're going to anchor to those pieces. So you can anchor that I feel very strong and happy and content when I touch my wedding ring, or when I look at the face of my child, or think of the birth of my child. Noises, sounds, clicking sounds. So think of the noise, like the clickers that you can get. That acts as a record scratch. When you have an odd sound that you can push and it'll make that sound and it just jars your body and you're like, I've got this. I am on to healthy eating and taking care of myself. So it just jars you into sitting up straight and acting right. Okay. You can put notes around the house reminding you what you're doing. You can do something physical. I happen to do something physical, and that happens to be punches and jabs. You can stand up and march. You can do jumping jacks. You can, whatever physical movement will bring you back to where you want to be and into that where you are in control and you have power to accomplish the goal that you're working on, okay? Then lastly is you can use anchors such as breathing in order to bring yourself to where you want to be. If you find yourself going the wrong direction, you stop, you breathe. That brings calmness, reduces your stress, and it allows you to focus and make better choices for yourself. We learned a 5-5-7 breathing pattern in our last program that we're working on. The breathing pattern for this program is any form of a 1-4-2, which simply means if I did a 4 count, breathing in for 4 counts, then I would hold for 16 counts, and then I would go out for 8 counts. So in for 4, hold for 16, and out for 8. That will expand the lungs more and continue to that growth and that health that the lungs are going to achieve by doing these breathing exercises. It will also work for reducing your stress and helping you to make the better decisions. So choose an anchor for your 5 senses. They can be anything. They can be a favorite song that you anchor to. You think back to that time when that song became such an important song to you and the joy that it brings and what you can achieve now. Okay, so you can anchor to that. It can be a favorite smell. It can be taste. It could be a happy touch. And it could be something on your body, like you just anchor to your shoulder. I touch my shoulder, and that means, oh, I've got this. I've got this. It just reminds you very simply, I've got this. I mean, no problem. I can handle this. So use that as your anchor. So I want you to stop the masterclass, and I want you to put down one anchor for each of your 5 senses. These are going to be anchors that I ask for you to work on each and every day over the next 30 days until they become a habit. So choose something that will act as a record scratch and work as a pattern interrupter so that you can very simply, when you're going in the wrong direction, you make that movement, you do that physical movement, you hear that noise or you see that image, you can immediately take your self back to where you want to be. Okay, so you're back. So here we go. Let's talk about clearing the clutter. Why do we need to clear the clutter? Well, why do we need to clear the clutter? Well, we need to create space for all these new goals and actions. There's lots of things that are going to be on your list that you have to get done or read or be prepared for in advance. And many times we make actions and goals but don't achieve them because we didn't take anything away and our list was already long and full. So we have to make space for that. And that can be mentally and physically. So why do we not achieve our new goals? Because we haven't structurally changed anything. We need to make way for the old to go out and bring in the new. Okay? So is there any clutter in your schedule or environment that needs clearing before you can move forward over the next 30 to 90 days? Let's do the exercise in order to make room for the goals that you're working on for this 90 days. I would like for you to do 2 different types of clearing of the clutter. You're going to brainstorm 1 to 2 things that can be removed from your schedule, from your actual schedule. These things have to be something that are in your control. And then I want you to star the best ones. so that you can go ahead and get that removed. If you've got 2 or 3 down there, then you star 2 of them that can easily be taken care of, then go ahead and we're gonna have you take those out and adjust your plan for the next 30 days while you're working on your healthy eating program. Then I would like for you to brainstorm another 2 to 3 things that can be cleaned up in your life, such as something physical. So, and then you're going to, again, star the best ones and see if you can get those done. Now, those you'll have to plan to do over the next 30 days. So such as, let's say, every time I drive into the garage, the side table at the back is just a mess and it really needs to be redone. So I'm going to put that on my list to get that cleaned up. Am I going to put that I really would like to clean up the entire garage? Probably not, because that might be asking a little much. Or if I'm working on healthy eating, going to my pantry and clearing out all of the junk food or all of the prepackaged foods that are not good for me and donating them or throwing them away, whatever, to just to get them out, clear out that clutter would be an awesome step to take. So I'd like for you to stop the masterclass now and list 2 to 3 things in your schedule that can be taken out and 2 to 3 things that can in your environment that can be taken out. And I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so this one's fun. Let's talk about water. Water helps to flush out toxins. It helps to make you feel full. It's needed for your body. So how much water to drink? Well, realistically, you want to drink half your body weight in ounces each day. So throughout this program, building up your water and how much your intake is very important. Example, if you weighed 150 pounds, you would need 75 ounces of water each day. You're going to have to keep in mind that things like caffeine and alcohol, they're dehydrating. So you have to add an additional one for each cup of coffee. Okay, so if you drink 8 ounces of coffee, then you would have to add an additional 8 ounces to your 75 ounces of water that you need to have. If you live someplace where it's very hot, you would want to worry about the outside temperature, where if you're sweating out excess, then you would need to compensate for that. Or if you tend to do a lot of exercise that causes you, to physically sweat. So you will know that you're drinking enough water if your urine is light in color and you have lots of it. You should be emptying your bladder every 2 to 3 hours. At first, when you start to build up this amount of water that you're taking into your body, you'll actually have to probably empty your bladder more often than that. But it will, over time, go back to the 2 or 3 hours, which is more normal. Okay, so now here's the fun part. A lot of people don't like water. If you happen to be one of them, you can do cucumber slices in it. You can add a little lemon, a little lime. Mint is always fun and refreshing. You can heat it and add the lemon to it. That's very enjoyable. You can also make it special. Put it in a wine glass. Put it in something that's pretty, that makes you feel special, and drink it that way. Water drinking tips, additional tips, is drink 1 or 2 glasses when you wake up in the morning. You've been sleeping all night, so your body's dehydrated, and it will take that water very, very easily. Keep a filtered pitcher on your office desk or your desk at home, wherever you spend most of your time, that's filled for the day, so that you know, I need to drink this entire pitcher by the end of the day. So it's just pre-measured. There's no thought process. When the pitcher's empty, you've drank enough water for your day. So it just makes your life simple and reduces stress and decision making for you. Drink 8 ounces before you exercise. Drink 8 ounces when you're done exercising, right? And then keep plenty of water bottles handy so that you can easily, when you're going out to travel or wherever you are, that you've always got a water bottle with you. And make sure that you're drinking in between your meals. Simple. Add water to your diet. So let's talk about eating tips to enjoy yourself and help you control your weight. This is always a fun subject. We don't think about all of these things as much as we probably should. set the table. When you set the table, it actually sets you up for a more relaxing time when you're eating. You're not eating in a rush state. You literally are planning for it. It makes it a little more social. You're less likely to stare at your phone or the television while you're eating and enjoy time with your family. You'll also take longer to eat. And the longer it takes you to eat, the will aid in your digestion and help you to actually not eat as much. So I want you to set the table, make it special. Drink water 30 minutes before your meal because you'll be a little bit fuller and won't eat as much. Always have a healthy salad before the meal. So if you just have a small salad or some kind of, light vegetable before the meal, then you'll have already started to fill up before you get to the heavier foods that are more high in calories. Put your fork down between each bite. We tend to have gotten to where we sit in front of the television and we just shovel the food into our mouths. Well, if you'll slow down, set the table, enjoy your meal, either by yourself or with family and friends, and put your fork down in between each bite and have a conversation and allow for that, you will extend the length of your meal. This actually allows you to start realizing when you're full, so you end up eating less. Eat with another person if possible. If you have to, put them on virtually so that you can eat with them virtually. They can eat, you can have a conversation, and it can be quite nice. Slow down when you're eating and enjoy the taste of each bite. If you find that you're putting the food into your mouth and you're not setting your fork down enough, then literally slow down and enjoy the taste of each bite. When you're no longer tasting the food, or you realize, I haven't tasted the last 3 bites, I've just been shoveling it in, then stop eating because you're probably done. Okay? Do not finish your plate. See if you can challenge yourself. Can I leave the first time? Can I leave 1 bite on my plate? If you happen to be somebody who always cleans their plate, can I leave 2, 3, 4, 5? Try to get yourself up to 5 bites that you're leaving on your plate. Don't eat when you're angry. We do tend to eat sometimes when we're angry. If you're angry, you need to go ahead and do your breathing. You know how to do it. Do a 5-5-7 breathing pattern. Get yourself to calm down before you eat. You always want to eat when you're in a relaxed state. Okay? So force that to happen, or just wait until you have calmed down before you even think about going and having a meal. Okay? Try not to eat at your desk if you tend to be one of those people at work that always eats at their desk. Try and get up from your desk and sit with others so that there's a conversation going on. So there's more time, more thought, more time for the food to digest and settle into your stomach so that you'll eat less. You'll also find that it's a much more enjoyable experience. Your stress level overall will start to come down. And then don't eat in front of the television while you're just sitting there staring at the television, because there's nothing to slow you down. You eat and you just shovel in way too many calories that way. So how long do you really take to eat a meal? Over the next week, I challenge you to get your meal to 20 minutes. And I know 20 minutes doesn't sound like much until you start doing it. Then you're going to realize, oh my gosh, I eat breakfast in 4 minutes. I eat lunch in 10. And dinner, even when I stretch it out, doesn't take more than 12 minutes. Okay? So, and all of those tips that we just talked about, not eating in front of the television, enjoying time with others, doing your meal with others, whether it's at work or at home, setting the table, all of those things will help you to stretch your meal out. Put your fork down, have a conversation, enjoy time with others. Okay, so here's your challenge is I want you to create a journal for the next week. You don't have to make this journal for the rest of your life. It's just this week in order for you to start bringing up your awareness and so that you can try and get your meals to 20 minutes. So on the first day, first day, you're literally just going to eat your meals like you always do. You're going to check the clock before you start your meal, and then you're going to eat it, and then you're going to check the clock when you're done, and you're going to write it down so that you know how long did it take you to eat that meal. And you're going to do that for all 3 meals on your first day, okay? And then on days 2 through 7, I'd like you to try and increase each meal by 5 minutes until you get them to 20 minutes. It's a challenge, and it'll be fun to see if you can actually accomplish this goal by the time we get there next week. But it's also going to bring up your awareness so that you can start spreading out your time. You'll digest your food better. You'll be calmer when you eat. You'll reduce your stress. And you're going to start enjoying yourself more. You'll enjoy your food. You'll enjoy the people that you're eating. Make sure that you journal each day. Document the meal. Note when you feel full. Put down whether you were happy, angry, sad during the meal or you were rushed, so that you know, because you'll want those as reference points later. Well, this one only took this, but I was rushed. So that in the future, you can start trying to think, well, how do I set my day up that I'm not rushed? You know, or is that happening too often? Well, I always have this excuse of, well, I was in a hurry. I was rushed. I had to go get the kids, drive from point A to point B, or I had another meeting, and I had back-to-back meetings. And it will cause you to realize that you are adding extra stresses to your life. The more stress you have in your life, the harder it is for you to digest and the poorer choices you're going to make. Okay. And then, did you notice that anything specific helps you to extend your meals? So add some little notes in as you're doing your journaling each day. You know, just simply understand when you're feeling full, what your mood is, and is there anything you're noticing as you go through the week that's helping you to extend the meal? Okay. So your action steps for this week are, I want you to focus on connecting with your anchors. Make them mean something. Make them act as a pattern interrupter. Write down your statement. Notice when you're making choices that are not in line with yourself and what your goal is. Your statement is your goal. Sorry. No need to judge yourself. Approach yourself compassionately and consciously, and just keep working on each of the anchors. Every time you see, touch, or feel your anchors, it's a moment of truth. Am I making the best choices for myself in this moment? It reminds you to stop and make a good choice for you. I want you to work on clearing the clutter. We picked some clutter out of your schedule, as well as your actual physical surroundings for you to be working on. You may not get all of them done in one day. Okay, they could be stretched out over the next 30 days. Work on your water. We went through the water guide and how to add more water and how much water you need. So please work on getting your water up to being half of your body weight in ounces each day. And then lastly, your goal is to get your meals, all of them, to 20-minute meals. And I will see you next week. But first, let's do your ahas. I want you to get out your paper and pencil and write down what insights have you gained today and what appreciations have you discovered. Did you fill that out? Have a great day. I'll see you next week.